series with the Gamecocks hosting the Clemson Tigers. South Carolina winners of 14 in a row in this head-to-head series. Hi, everybody, and welcome courtside. Beth Mowens alongside the Hall of Famer Debbie Antonelli. It's a South Carolina team that played for the national championship a year ago, but lost 4 starters, Debbie. A lot to replace. Good news is they got one of the best players out there out of the portal.
Last year's leading scorer in women's college basketball. Over 25 points a game for Tania Latson in her time at Florida State. She is a bucket. She can stretch defenses to the three-point line. You cannot knock her off her line on her way to the basket. She gets to the free throw line with frequency, and she's a great finisher around the rim. And Dawn Staley is saying she can score off her defense as well. We're expecting her to do that this year for the Gamecocks.
3 terrific seasons at Florida State, all ACC performer, and this season coming to Carolina as a preseason All-American. They will take on a Clemson team that is much improved under Sean Poppy, now year number 2. They are looking to make this game a lot more competitive with the play of Mia Moore.
But you got to take care of the ball. You have to make decisions under duress all game. Mia Moore is going to be the player for Clemson. She is number 12 in orange. She has to be a threat scoring. She has to take care of the ball. She's got to get them in their offense and control the tempo in this environment, which is one of the toughest environments in women's college basketball to compete in.
11 times the attendance leaders in women's college basketball, and they have shown up here tonight for this in-state rivalry. Clemson in orange, South Carolina in their home whites. The Gamecocks number 2 in the country, and both teams have started out early in the season at 2-0. Katie Lukinich, Denise Brooks, Brandon Enderline, our officiating crew, and we are underway from the state capitol.
South Carolina will have size at every position. They'll look to get points in the paint early. And here they go right away, trying to establish Joyce Edwards.
Edwards working inside at 6'3", off the mark on her first shot. As we check out the starting 5 for Clemson, they would love to get this into a slower tempoed game. Demara Hines is one to keep an eye on. Number 25, got to have another big night.
Hines has to stay out of foul trouble. She has to rebound out of her area, and she's got to help them control the tempo doing those things.
Here's Rachel Rose. Up top, and now Hines with it.
Raven Johnson taking the toughest assignment on the perimeter, but South Carolina switching 1 through 5 early.
Of course, on the defensive end, that has always been Carolina's calling card under Dawn Staley. And here's a look at her starting 5. 3 guards, Latson, Johnson, and Johnson, averaging 46 points, 15 rebounds, and 16 assists per game collectively.
Right away, Tania Latson looking to attack quickly. So one of the things that I have noticed about South Carolina in watching film early is the cadence of rhythm and the pace that Dawn Staley is asking her team to play with. Right there, Joyce Edwards gets the rebound, and they are pushing up the floor without the outlet. It's going to help them get into their actions quicker.
Here's a look at Dawn, now in her 18th season. 3-time national champs. They have won the Southeastern Conference 4 years running, and somebody missed a box out. And Medina O'Coke gets the easy stick back.
Look, it's early, it's November. You're going to make mistakes, but you cannot make back-to-back mistakes if you're Clemson against the level of talent.
O'Coke with a strip. Here comes Raven the other way, looking for a shooter, and it's Tessa Johnson in the trail. And Hines has the rebound.
All 5 have to go to the defensive glass for Clemson. And they've got to be really good in their transition defense because South Carolina can tilt the floor quickly the other way.
Off the bounce, Moore attacks the rim. Offensive rebound for Hines. And it's a held ball that will stay at this end. Here's a look at Sean Poppy in his 2nd season. Couple of top 25 wins a year ago. They finished sub 500, but they had a lot of close calls. In fact, 4 2-possession losses in ACC play last year. Had they won those, that's a 500 team.
South Carolina was picked to win the leagues. Clemson's picked in the middle of the ACC. They'll be one of the most improved teams in that league, along with Virginia and Miami.
Pull up for three, no good from Taylor Johnson Matthews. And now Johnson will head the other way. Coming in off the bench the last couple of seasons to put up some big numbers from time to time. Now in the starting lineup. Here's Raven, and she'll knock down the J.
So they'll start Clemson going under ball screen action with Raven Johnson. They want to force her to make some jumpers. She's much more dangerous when she turns the corner and gets 2 feet in the paint.
Now in her 5th season for the Gamecocks, all she knows is winning. A couple of championships nationally, 4 of them in the SEC.
Look at Joyce Edwards with her length, guarding on the perimeter. There she goes, gets a block.
So they've got a steal and a block early on, and now the run out for Edwards crosses over to the right side and lays it in, and it's a 7-0 start.
John Poppy told us today that he would be quick to call a timeout if he felt things slipping away early. They just got to keep executing. The quality of the catch is so tough because South Carolina's defense pushes you out of your scoring range. This is what I'm talking about. Look where Clemson's trying to initiate their offense right here. Quickly, Joyce Edwards on the switch gets the steal and the run out. And South Carolina's had a couple of easy buckets early.
Thompson to inbound. Usne Augustinata is now on the floor for Clemson. Some quick substitutions. She gives it a little more size. Boy, look at the defense forcing her way out top. Another blocked shot on a deep 3 with the shot clock winding down.
You're not going to be able to score over the top of South Carolina. You're going to have to get your hips and shoulders by them off the bounce. Set up your three-point shooting that way, Beth, instead of trying to set it up off the perimeter. You got to get in the paint and then spray.
That was a Clemson team that set a new school record for three-pointers last year. As Joyce Edwards goes to the left hand in the lane, it's 9-0 to start.
Really good footwork inside with the counter by Edwards. She looks pretty active here tonight.
Moore. And Edwards with the rejection. South Carolina with numbers. Raven Johnson to the rim, short. They'll get another possession. A coat high off the backboard and a foul on the rebound will go against Mia Moore.
Joyce Edwards, active hands, really looking to steal off these switches. Here she goes inside. She steps back and she gets away, maybe with a little bit of a trouble, but it's a heck of a move inside. And then the block on this end where she helps in that low eye position to protect the rim.
Latson off the mark. Augustinata, and now Moore. Inside to Hines, they'll kick it back out to the perimeter. Johnson Matthews short on the shot.
But that's the way I think Clemson needs to set up their threes. They had a much better look and a little more time.
They have started out 0 for 8, 5 of those from beyond the arc. Difficult task ahead against this South Carolina D. And if they get the offense cranked up, I mean, they're averaging over 100 points a game early on, shooting better than 62% through their first couple of games.
I think they're going to be a high percentage, high possession offensive team this year. You know, Dawn Staley's teams in the past have played a little slower, but we asked her about it today, and she said, hey, we got personnel that can fly. We got to go.
They've had so many good post players that they've run their offense through in years past. And they've got some this year, but the guards outstanding with the push of the tempo. Augustinata, shot clock's winding down again. Moore with an open look, and they finally are able to break the ice.
And Clemson shot and made a school record number of threes last year, and because of their three-point shooting ability, if they can make a couple of shots, get a couple stops, they can get right back in it.
And they made 228 of them. Here's Latson. Edwards couldn't hang on to it.
A bigger lineup on the floor for Sean Poppy right now with two bigs.
Moore. Well, he called for them to spread the floor, and they did that, and Moore had a lane for the lay-in.
She has incredible quickness off the bounce, does Mia Moore.
Johnson doubled, and a foul. Hot start for South Carolina, and a decent response from Clemson.
Popeye's $6 Big Box is back. 2 pieces of signature chicken or 3 tenders. 2 sides and a biscuit. 1 very happy customer. Make Thanksgiving easy and delicious with Popeye's Cajun-style turkey. Love that chicken from Popeyes.
It's fun when these two get together in the Palmetto series. Clemson football has the all-time series lead. Their game to come later in the year. Men's basketball, Carolina with the edge. And on the women's basketball side, Dawn Staley has turned this thing around in South Carolina's favor. They've won 14 in a row, dating back to a 2009 game. And she's got Joyce Edwards going early. Joyce 3 for 4, 6 points already with a block shot as well.
It just looks bouncy. She's long. Dawn Staley can play her at the 3 spot this year. She's really worked on her perimeter game.
Latson open on the inbound for 3.
25.2 points a game last year as the NCAA's leading scorer was wide open on that one.
4 for her early on. Transfer out of FSU. And again, they are just cranking up the pressure defensively. Clemson just 2 of 10 to open the game.
Little twist action right there, and it lets Augustinete get wide open for mid-range. See, Beth, I think when you go against South Carolina and you're Clemson and Sean Poppy, and we saw these things today, you have to have these concepts already in your offense. You can't just practice them the day before, and he's built an offensive system that allows these kind of pressure relievers, dribble entries, high post entries, shot fake, ball fake, and then some backdoor cuts, and we have not seen any backdoor yet. But South Carolina, as they ramp up their pressure up the line, we'll see if Clemson can get a V-cut backdoor.
The foul was on Hannah Cohn, her first. She transferred in from Chattanooga with Poppy. They got a couple of players that followed Shaw to Clemson. Edwards.
Good help by Hines.
Latson off the bounce. Looking for a drop off. Good defense by Clemson. They get the takeaway. Hadley Perriman.
See if they can get Cohn going. She's one of their prolific three-point shooters.
Number 5 in orange, bottom of your screen. There's the backdoor cut.
The other thing against South Carolina, you got to take the first open shot.
Because there may not be another one. There may not be a second. And now a 3-second violation.
You know, Clemson's got to settle in, move the ball, reverse it, play inside the gap, and then kick. But you cannot over-penetrate. They're only blocking 8.5 shots a game, South Carolina. They typically have had great rim protection.
Yes, they have. Asia Wilson, Aaliyah Boston come to mind. Edwards, boy, she is playing with some spring in her step. Got a held ball as Marianne Dowda got in there to grab it, and it'll stay at this end. Raven Johnson will check back in for Dawn Staley. 7 trips to the Final Four for the Naismith Hall of Famer, an Olympic gold medalist as both a player and a coach. Just lethal here at home, where she's won 87% of her games.
Dawn Staley is the only person that's won the Naismith as a player and as a coach.
Lagat McKeer, the freshman from Thunder Bay, Ontario, was a top 5 recruit for ESPN Hoop Girls. Under 2 minutes to go here in the first quarter. Hines trying to pin the youngster down inside and goes to the left hand to use the board.
The transfer from Wake Forest is really excited as a graduate student, getting a chance to finish her career at Clemson. She can give them a real significant presence in the post.
Edwards, patience, and a chance at a three-point play.
Joyce Edwards makes this move so quickly, it's hard to bring help. Look how quickly she's into her counter over that left shoulder. Pyramid, I thought, did a good job defensively, playing straight up, making her make a play.
That's her first foul, and the three-point play for Edwards. And a terrific first quarter for Joyce. She's got 9, and a well-deserved break to the bench.
You cannot disrupt the balance, rhythm, speed, or quickness of an offensive player, and that's what the official deemed Raven Johnson did. But you know what, if I'm Dawn Staley, I don't mind Raven picking up one of those early in the game. Go ahead and get up in their grill, but don't do it again.
Rose is the transfer from Wofford up top. Augustineta, that's another block shot on the perimeter. They've got 3 of those on 3 attempts. And another block inside. Raven Johnson stepping through and can't finish.
What a rebound by Hines. She is an athlete.
5 block shots, 4 of them now on 3 attempts at this end of the floor for Carolina.
Got a 2-for-1 opportunity if you're Clemson.
Doesn't look like they're going to get it off. Rose off the bounce. Goes to the left side.
Nice job cutting back door off the bounce. Getting to the rim. Keeping the weak side busy. Pull those bigs away from the bucket.
Zauda will try from deep. And Clemson will get a second look at it as Sean Poppy says, hold it for 1.
They're going to go a little step-up screen here, I think, with Hines. Yep, there it is.
Well, she's got a mismatch inside if they can find her. And the 3-ball for Cone to beat the buzzer. Got it off just in time, and it's 20-12 through 1.
This ball's not in Cone's hands very long. Look how quickly she's in the rhythm of her jumper. 8-point lead for the Gamecocks.
Coming to the stage this Friday, it's Ned's first team karaoke night. But he's wondering,
what if my flaky red plaque psoriasis takes center stage?
Next up, we have Ned.
Itchy, flaky, blacky.
what if Ned knew he could treat differently?
Otezla is a pill that treats plaque psoriasis even in hard-to-treat areas. You can get clearer skin and reduce itching and flaking. Doctors have been prescribing Otezla for over 10 years. Don't use Otezla if you're allergic to it. Get medical help right away if you have trouble breathing or swallowing, swelling of the face, lips, tongue, throat, or arms. Severe diarrhea, nausea, or vomiting, depression, suicidal thoughts, or weight loss can happen. Tell your doctor if any of these occur and if you have a history of depression or suicidal thoughts.
With Otezla, clear skin could be your jam. Live in the moment. Struggling on topicals? Ask your doctor about Otezla.
I actually like to shout out the families of our veterans who have sacrificed so much.
I'd like to give a shout out to my father, Larry C. Vickers Sr. We have extreme pride in our country and the opportunity that is given to me.
I want to give a special shout out to Shakira Wade. She currently serves in the military and so thankful for her and her service.
Oh, and a thanks from all of us on this special day, the Veterans Holiday. I had some of the veterans in the crowd enjoying the action in the Palmetto series. And Sean Poppy showing his support as well with his t-shirt today underneath his jacket. 20-12, South Carolina. Joyce Edwards leading the way with 9 points. They shot 50% and blocked 5 shots. Clemson, after starting out the game, missing 8 in a row, have hit 5 of their last 8, including a 3 at the buzzer to end that first quarter. Beth Mullins alongside Debbie Antonelli. Carolina winners of 14 in a row in this rivalry. Latson can't roll that in, but a weak side rebound. This is going to be a strong rebounding crew for South Carolina again this season. I mean, they can go. They got 6'3", 6'4", 6'5", and 6'6" on their roster.
And they're all long. And they're strong. And they're committed to getting to the offensive boards.
And now that's the second foul on Demara Hines. That's big trouble for Clemson.
Yeah, I think she's the one player that cannot get in foul trouble for them in this matchup.
They got a serious size issue now in the lane. Latson will attack and score.
So strong, hips and shoulders by her defender. And when she gets in the paint, you're not going to knock her off her line.
3-ball from Cone won't go.
They're getting some good looks right now. They got to knock them down. If you're going to upset this team, you got to make some shots.
Here, no pass possession that time for Carolina. A lot of dribbling here for Rose, looking for a teammate.
And without Hines, they like to make that high post entry to Hines.
Spin in the lane, tough shot, and it goes for Johnson Matthews.
Both teams really battling.
And I think they're going to get a coat for the offensive foul there.
Displacement. Perriman was just standing there waiting for her. Watch Perriman on the nail. Boom. That's a foul.
Cone. Edwards almost got a steal, and there's a foul inside on McKeer. As Chloe Kitts looks on, out for the season with the torn ACL. Ashlyn Watkins taking a year off from basketball. So Raven Johnson, the only returning starter this year in their lineup after a run to the Final Four in the national championship game a year ago.
Kitts 1 month away from surgery and doing well in her rehab. We wish her well.
So Johnson Matthews to the line. This is a big week for Clemson basketball, Debbie, because they are on national television again on Sunday afternoon, part of our doubleheader. First, it's TCU NC State at 1 o'clock on ESPN, then Louisville Clemson at 3 o'clock on ESPN2. For folks, a lot of folks, their first national look at Olivia Miles in a TCU jersey. And how does State respond to a tough loss to USC?
Yeah. NC State 135-15 since 2015 in Reynolds Coliseum.
That should be a dandy.
And this is a great game to prepare yourself for conference play if you're Clemson, because Louisville is going to bring the same kind of defensive pressure that South Carolina brings.
Yeah, that's an early ACC tilt for those two.
It is really early.
With the expanding, conferences, the start of the conference season creeping up earlier and earlier. That's the second foul now on Raven Thompson. So 2 starters with 2 fouls, and Edwards is back at the stripe.
You got a pinch on the free throw line. Coat right there. See Perriman step up the lane. You got to make sure that you pinch right there with Moore and Perriman. You can't let her get an X out on the free throw line, which means go to the other side.
Edwards now to double digits. Rose.
Good boomerang pass. Rose has got to start looking for some shots. She's an excellent three-point shooter.
Now, they are shooting just 25% right now in the ball game, and yet they're only a touchdown behind after trailing by as many as 13 in the early going.
South Carolina all spread out, going 4 out, 1 in.
A coat to the left side, off glass.
I'll tell you what, I watched her today. She's big with big hands, and she can run.
That's
and
smooth.
she's smooth as
At
well.
6'6".
She's got soft hands.
And able to jump out and defend on the perimeter.
She's going to make some threes this year.
Edwards. Ooh. May have been a double dribble there. She'll get the rebound and the stick back off the McKeer miss. Timeout, Clemson.
To the nail, to the perimeter, and then on the glass. Joyce Edwards active on both sides.
Popeye's $6 Big Box is back. 2 pieces of signature chicken or 3 tenders. 2 sides and a biscuit. 1 very happy customer. Make Thanksgiving easy and delicious with Popeye's Cajun-style turkey. Love that chicken from Popeyes.
Thank you so much, Kelsey and Megan. I bet you they're going to talk about Gianna Neepkins. You know, we mentioned Tania Latson is a big-time transfer. Neepkins at UCLA, back-to-back 20-point games.
I bet Corey Close tells Kelsey and Megan that she told her team on any night it could be anybody's game.
Yeah.
So they have a lot of weapons at UCLA. They've gotten better through the portal, and their Final Four experience ought to help them in the NCAA tournament this year.
Still no Sienna Betts, though, their star recruit. Yeah. Hopefully she'll be able to get out on the floor soon. South Carolina without Maddie McDaniel tonight, by the way, so they have just 9 available. She's missing her 2nd game in a row with an injury. Their backup point guard. Good ball movement for Clemson, and they are lurking, Debbie.
Listen, that possession is Clemson basketball under Sean Poppy. They make one more. It's like they don't settle for one. They draw, and they make the defense be a pass to a pass and a half late.
Approaching the midway point of this 2nd quarter. Forcing a tough shot there. More with the push and the turnover.
This is the kind of ball move I'm talking about. Look how they make the closeout, then they get another closeout. And when you move the ball like that, because Latson's all the way sucked into the rim, you get a wide open triple. That's one of your bigs. That's spot running in transition and being ready on the catch.
That's one of the first things he talked to us today about is their ball pressure in the half court is so good, you have to keep it moving. Can't be stagnant, and they force another turnover.
Sometimes when someone from South Carolina turns the ball over, I immediately look at Coach Staley, but I don't believe Raven Johnson does. After that
Don't make eye contact?
No, don't look over them.
Clemson playing without 2 starters with some foul trouble here in the first half. Augustaneda over the shorter defender, and those are the ones that you got to knock down. They're shooting still sub 35% from the floor. Latson picked up the dribble.
See, that would have been a shot last year. She hesitated a little bit. I don't think Coach Staley wants her to hesitate.
And South Carolina has cooled just 3 of 8 this quarter.
Well, Clemson has gotten 3 stops in a row, 2 turnovers and a defensive rebound.
But now you got to convert them into points at this end. Shot clock winding down on Russ. Into a Del Tack, got a step away. They're going to have to jack. Looking for a three, off the window, won't go. Unable to take advantage of the 3 possessions that Carolina couldn't score. Latson off the bounce. Another miss inside.
I'll tell you what, Mia Moore really hustled under that ball screen to try to get in front of Latson.
Got a shooter in the corner. And that time, Augustaneda will knock it down. 6-0 run for the Tigers to get back in it.
South Carolina needs to pound it in the paint right here.
See if they get a touch for Edwards. Johnson, mid-range goes, but in the paint.
It's points in the paint right here. They're settling for jumpers, wrong people taking shots. You can't just rely on your offensive rebounding.
Looking for back-to-back.
I like that set, though. Not quite America's play, but close to it.
Edwards, again, 1 pass and a shot up, and Dawn Staley just looks away and shakes her head. Arms crossed.
So patient over there, Coach Staley.
Rose for 3, around and out.
That's a wide open look.
They are now 4 of 17 downtown, baby.
And this is to your point early, Beth. You know, down 4 starters from last year, even though they played for the national championship game. But this is where Raven Johnson's got to be the leader.
Yeah.
Or tonight, Latson, who's capable. Like, you got to understand what you need, look at personnel, and get points in the paint.
Moore tried the back door. They didn't get it to her. Thompson will step away. Turned back outside by Edwards. And Dawn Staley wants a timeout with possession and 1:43 to go here in the first half.
Coming to the stage this Friday, it's Ned's first team karaoke night. But he's wondering,
What if my flaky red plaque psoriasis takes center stage?
Next up, we have Ned.
Itchy, flaky, blacky.
what if Ned knew he could treat differently?
Otezla is a pill that treats plaque psoriasis even in hard to treat areas. You can get clearer skin and reduce itching and flaking. Doctors have been prescribing Otezla for over 10 years. Don't use Otezla if you're allergic to it. Get medical help right away if you have trouble breathing or swallowing, swelling of the face, lips, tongue, throat, or arms. Severe diarrhea, nausea, or vomiting, depression, suicidal thoughts, or weight loss can happen. Tell your doctor if any of these occur and if you have a history of depression or suicidal thoughts.
With Otezla, clear skin could be your jam. Live in the moment. Struggling on topicals? Ask your doctor about Otezla.
Star-studded ESPN NBA doubleheader. It's the Magic taking on the New York Knicks, and then Lakers and Thunder. NBA tip-off gets things going at 6 Eastern for our NBA doubleheader Wednesday night on ESPN. Beth Mowens, Debbie Antonelli courtside. Dawn Staley, let's see what she's got coming out of the timeout with a 31-22 lead. A $1:43 to go here in the first half. For the preseason favorites in the Southeastern Conference to try and win a 5th straight regular season title. Johnson to Edwards. Joyce into the lane. 13-footer short. She'll rebound her own miss and stick it back up and in. She's got 14 in the first half.
So quick off her feet. That second jump.
Cone. They have 18 three-ball attempts and 9 two-point attempts. Sean Poppy did not like that selection.
But you know what? That's Clemson's game. A good timeout by Dawn Staley. Back-to-back buckets.
That ends up being, what, a 5-point swing? And now it's an 8-0 South Carolina run.
You're going to come way out with a long closeout on Cone. She'll fire.
Swing it around to Thompson. Ends up with Cone. Rattled in and out. Just another offensive foul displacement. Let's see, this time it's Adele Tack, her first.
Well, Perriman had position, and she had already established her spot.
So shot clock is off here for
I wouldn't want to bring the ball up against Raven Johnson.
Be a challenge.
Rachel Rose has done a good job not turning it over.
Now they go with 10 on the game clock. Rose into the lane, all the way to the rim, gets the lay-in. With 3 seconds to go in the half, so at the end of both quarters, Clemson executes and gets a bucket to beat the buzzer. 35-24 at the half. South Carolina in front in the Palmetto series. Big first half for Joyce Edwards to lead the way with 14 as we get you back to the studio with Kelsey and Megan.
Going up, never coming down. My feet got lifted straight up off the ground. See me on top, headed for the crown.
Coming to the stage this Friday, it's Ned's first team karaoke night. But he's wondering,
What if my flaky red plaque psoriasis takes center stage?
Next up, we have Ned.
Is she flaky blacky?
what if Ned knew he could treat differently?
Otezla is a pill that treats plaque psoriasis even in hard-to-treat areas. You can get clearer skin and reduce itching and flaking. Doctors have been prescribing Otezla for over 10 years. Don't use Otezla if you're allergic to it. Get medical help right away if you have trouble breathing or swallowing, swelling of the face, lips, tongue, throat, or arms. Severe diarrhea, nausea, or vomiting, depression, suicidal thoughts, or weight loss can happen. Tell your doctor if any of these occur and if you have a history of depression or suicidal thoughts.
With Otezla, clear skin could be your jam. Live in the moment. Struggling on topicals? Ask your doctor about Otezla. Coming to the stage this Friday, it's Ned's first team karaoke night. But he's wondering,
what if my flaky red plaque psoriasis takes center stage?
Next up, we have Ned.
Itchy, flaky, blacky.
what if Ned knew he could treat differently?
Otezla is a pill that treats plaque psoriasis even in hard-to-treat areas. You can get clearer skin and reduce itching and flaking. Doctors have been prescribing Otezla for over 10 years. Don't use Otezla if you're allergic to it. Get medical help right away if you have trouble breathing or swallowing, swelling of the face, lips, tongue, throat, or arms. Severe diarrhea, nausea, or vomiting, depression, suicidal thoughts, or weight loss can happen. Tell your doctor if any of these occur and if you have a history of depression or suicidal thoughts.
With Otezla, clear skin could be your jam. Live in the moment. Struggling on topicals? Ask your doctor about Otezla.
Back to the SEC on ESPN. Columbia, South Carolina for the South Carolina Gamecocks and the Clemson Tigers, a 35-24 Carolina lead for the number 2 team in the country. As we welcome you back courtside, Beth Mowins, along with the Hall of Famer Debbie Antonelli. It was Joyce Edwards that really got things cooking in that first half for South Carolina. Shot 6 for 10.
Quick off her feet. Exciting in the defensive end, and we know what she can do offensively. I mean, she generates a lot for South Carolina. She goes 6 for 10 from the floor, 4 rebounds. Look at her counter moves in the post. She's plus 16 in the plus minus. She has 0 fouls, and if you thought she was aggressive in the first half, wait till you see how aggressive she is here in the second half, posting up and switching on the defensive end.
4 rebounds and a couple of blocks as well. Dominant in the paint for South Carolina. And hence the 35-24 lead. They led by as many as 13 in that first half. Clemson was able to close the gap, but really struggling to knock down their shots, just 29% shooting. They're 4 of 19 from downtown. And if you're going to threaten number 2 South Carolina on their home court, they're going to have to do better than that in this second half, and Edwards will open up, staying hot.
See, I think as Joyce Edwards continues to mature in Dawn Staley's system, you're going to see plays like that. Step in and to your range and knock down a shot. Can't get sped up. Take what the defense gives you.
Dawn was talking to us today about how they've really opened up the floor for her this year, Debbie.
And that's an example of it right there. Let's see right there. That's what I'm talking about. No fouls. Be aggressive. Go to block everything right now.
Coast to coast for Joyce. Now she'll kick it out. A coat. No good on the mid-range. Good. Blocks out a box out there by Rose. Allows Moore to grab it uncontested.
Let's see if Hines can get something going. Played with those 2 personal fouls. Played less than 8 minutes. That's been her scouting report in her time at Wake Forest. She's prone to fouls.
They are back to their starting unit. They were down a couple of starters with foul problems. And there is Taylor Johnson-Matthews knocking it down. She's got 6.
And ready to shoot behind the screen. She made 52 threes last year.
8 Tigers have played today, Debbie. 7 of them have scored. Everybody getting involved, and that is now Hines picking up her 3rd foul. Looks like Sean Poppy will let her stay and play.
They've got 5 threes by 5 different players, Clemson.
There's the advantage for South Carolina in the paint. The coat off the mark. Tessa Johnson pulls up mid-range, count it.
I mean, this is textbook off the bounce. This is beautiful elevation on a pull-up jumper. You gotta love it right here, Beth. Watch this. Just plays 2 bounces, 2 dribbles. That's all you need to create some space to get into the rhythm of your shot.
Fouls on Rachel Rose, her first. So Tessa to the free throw line, the junior from the Minneapolis area. Dawn Staley talked about the work that she put in the offseason. She said it's okay to be selfish in the offseason, working on your game, working on your skill set, working on your diet and conditioning. And she put in the time and really focused on her own development as a player and how she could benefit the team with it.
Yeah, that's a foul. Pushed off the spot. And you know what, Hines, for a player with size and strength, she really does a good job playing the leverage game. Watch how she works without the ball. She's keeping the seal. She gets off the contact. She gets back on the contact and just carves out some space to be able to receive that post entry.
Second foul on a coat. Bodies on the deck, and it's a 5-second count against Clemson. Here's Tania Latson. Last year's national scoring leader while at Florida State. More Tessa, this time from deep, and it's the biggest lead of the night for Carolina.
You don't usually hear selfish used in a positive way, and that's the way Dawn Staley, to your point earlier. I mean, she can really stroke it. It is textbook, that jump shot, Tessa Johnson.
Part of that 24 national championship team, that huge game against Iowa. Yeah, now they force a turnover.
Palming or carrying the ball is a violation they're emphasizing this year. Look at Tessa get into the rhythm of her shot, gets her feet down quickly under her shoulders.
She had 19 against Grand Canyon in their season opener.
Real good shooters get their feet down like this. Ba-boom, ba-boom, real quick, right? That helps them get into the rhythm of their shot.
She's got 10, and looking for the assist to Edwards there. Coat with the big-time rebound. Edwards getting in there for another opportunity. Joyce Edwards now with 18, and it's an 8-0 South Carolina run. Does Clemson have a response? Oh, Busanete, they missed the roller on the pick and roll. Hines working down low. Offensive rebound, and the putback is good.
She has to be a factor right now. They have to have some way to collapse the South Carolina defense so they're not so far up the line and overplaying. If you can establish something in the baseline in the paint, then it helps the quality of your catch on the perimeter. Because South Carolina has to help in the inside a little bit. They have to at least pinch somewhat.
Latson with the air ball. She thought she got fouled. Tonight with 8 points on 3 of 8 shooting so far tonight.
We talked to Dawn Staley about Tania Latson and why she came to South Carolina and her perspective about what she wants to do with her own game, plus what she wants to accomplish as a team. And they've been working on her decision-making and her passing.
Likely to be a high WNBA draft pick. Eyes on playing for a national championship first. Edwards now with 7 boards to go along with her 18 points. Raven Johnson looking for some help, got to get out of the lane and not in time. 3-second violation.
Rachel Rose back in the game for Mia Moore.
Big night for Rachel as she makes her 100th career start. First at Wofford and now here at Clemson for the senior from Scranton, PA. Former Big South Freshman of the Year and SoCon Player of the Year. And the Tigers are going to work again.
Hines inside. And Rachel Rose only played 6 games last year. She had an injury. Played for Jimmy Garrity at Wofford.
She's been handling the ball pretty well so far tonight. Perryman. Hines as the Clemson bench counts down the shot clock. Russ off the mark. Latson with the rebound.
Bustanete have some good luck. She's now 1 for 8 from the floor. She's a better shooter than that. It'll come around.
The coach steps away.
That's one of those shots when in doubt, shoot it.
Yep. Rose off the hesitation, scoops it underneath the coat, up and in.
Clemson battling right here. I mean, they're not going away.
6 unanswered for the Tigers.
Really slow developing here, and then the turnover. Just not connected on that possession. But on the other end, Rachel Rose, little hezzy at the nail, and then the explosion up and under to score over the shot blocker.
Coming to the stage this Friday, it's Ned's first team karaoke night. But he's wondering,
what if my flaky red plaque psoriasis takes center stage?
Next up, we have Ned.
Itchy, flaky, blacky.
what if Ned knew he could treat differently?
Otezla is a pill that treats plaque psoriasis even in hard-to-treat areas. You can get clearer skin and reduce itching and flaking. Doctors have been prescribing Otezla for over 10 years. Don't use Otezla if you're allergic to it. Get medical help right away if you have trouble breathing or swallowing, swelling of the face, lips, tongue, throat, or arms. Severe diarrhea, nausea, or vomiting, depression, suicidal thoughts, or weight loss can happen. Tell your doctor if any of these occur and if you have a history of depression or suicidal thoughts.
With Otezla, clear skin could be your jam. Live in the moment. Struggling on topicals? Ask your doctor about Otezla.
Watch. Sync. Swipe. Personalize. Now available on the ESPN app.
And a shout out to all the support staff around women's basketball, from managers and practice players and people that do the work behind the scenes. Alexander Margulis, happy 22nd birthday today. One of the student managers at Clemson.
He's the son of Dan Margulis, who is in charge of programming, college basketball, and many other things, including putting this game together.
Getting us a lot of good matchups.
Yeah,
got
we like
a women's doubleheader coming up on Sunday. Clemson, Louisville, and NC State, TCU. We'll see plenty of South Carolina throughout the season, including a primetime ABC game in February after the Super Bowl, mid-February, against LSU.
Well, up next for South Carolina is Southern Cal, who we just saw.
That'll be a good one. They have tried a couple of times to shake Clemson, have not been able to do it. Been up by as many as 18, but the Tigers have found ways to get back in it. Boy, if they could hit a 3 tonight, it would be really tight, but that has not been the case. South Carolina looking for its first points in over 4 minutes. Wise to get Joyce Edwards a touch. She steps through, but it won't go.
How about Raven Thompson holding her own inside? Pretty good defense right there.
Carolina has made just one of its last 9 shots, and the run now for Clemson is 8-0. And that's going to be a foul on McKeer trying to run through the screen.
Back-to-back plays by the senior Raven Thompson. Here she is right here playing good D, one-on-one. South Carolina clears it out for Edwards to go one-on-one, and Raven Thompson just stands her up and then rebounds.
They can get this thing back into single digits. Oh, and now they're going to call Hines for the illegal screen, and that's her 4th. With 2:10 still to go in the 3rd quarter, I think they're going to have to get her out now as they reach for Raven Thompson on the bench, and Hines will depart. Well, that's a tough way to pick up number 4.
Yeah, Hines with 7 rebounds. Clemson has only turned the ball over 8 times, and their backcourt has handled the pressure of the South Carolina perimeter.
Let's see if Carolina can break through for the first bucket in 5 minutes. Nope. Another chance to cut the deficit.
Go a little boomerang pass action right into the switchy. That's a shot that she's got to shoot. She's got to be ready to shoot it.
Wasn't ready for that one. Off the mark. McKeer.
Boy, McKeer is long and athletic, isn't she?
Edwards mid-range. Wow, the drought now 5.5 minutes. They've missed their last 8 shots. They're trying to get Tania Latson back on the floor.
Clemson's on an 8-0 run.
But they haven't scored in over 2 minutes. See if they can break through here, and it won't go. They have had 3 chances now, I think, Debbie, to get this thing into single digits. Here comes another one.
It is a high possession game, but South Carolina is shooting 40%, and Clemson is shooting 33%. So neither team is shooting it very well.
10 on the shot clock. Rose off the bounce. Off the pass fake and the jab step. That won't drop. And the bottom of the net is lonely at both ends.
Raven Johnson slowing it down for the last possession.
6:40 without a bucket for South Carolina. Can they get one here to beat the buzzer? Edwards blocked. That'll take care of the third quarter. Both offenses will quickly turn that page as we head to the fourth in a 10-point game.
Coming to the stage this Friday, it's Ned's first team karaoke night. But he's wondering,
what if my flaky red plaque psoriasis takes center stage?
Next up, we have Ned.
Itchy, flaky, blacky.
what if Ned knew he could treat differently?
Otezla is a pill that treats plaque psoriasis even in hard-to-treat areas. You can get clearer skin and reduce itching and flaking. Doctors have been prescribing Otezla for over 10 years. Don't use Otezla if you're allergic to it. Get medical help right away if you have trouble breathing or swallowing, swelling of the face, lips, tongue, throat, or arms. Severe diarrhea, nausea, or vomiting, depression, suicidal thoughts, or weight loss can happen. Tell your doctor if any of these occur and if you have a history of depression or suicidal thoughts.
With Otezla, clear skin could be your jam. Live in the moment. Struggling on topicals? Ask your doctor about Otezla.
Monday afternoon, women's doubleheader on ESPN and the Deuce. It's TCU at NC State and Louisville, Clemson. Debbie and I will both be working on Sunday. Looking forward to being at Reynolds. But after 30 years together, they're breaking up the bench. Lennon and McCartney are not working together on Sunday, Debbie.
Neither are Reba and Celine. I'll be at Clemson with these Tigers and the Louisville Cardinals. I'm sure Jeff Walls will send his best to you.
I'm sure he will. I'm counting on him to appeal and out of bounds in the first quarter.
It's been a great 30 years. Here's to 30 more.
Oh, God. Are you sure about that?
Yeah, I'm sure about it. Yes. We've had a great run. It's been fun. We've watched the game up and down, change through adversity, and all the things that we do. And we know the backdoor entrance to every place in college basketball. Arenas and other places.
All right, we're looking for some shot makers right now because both sides are in a serious drought. Still a 10-point game. Clemson trying to cut it down, and finally McKeer able to hit a shot after a drought for South Carolina that lasted over 7 minutes.
You got to really double down on the scout right now if you're Clemson. I mean, you got to know who the shooters are. You got to close out the right distance. Let's see if Mia Moore can get something going.
They continue to play without Tamara Hines, who's sitting with 4 fouls. Moore have been relying a lot because of South Carolina's speed and size on that 3-point shot, and it is just not dropping. 5 for 26.
Well, you know you had to make threes when you came in here.
A coat gets to the other side of the rim. Able to tip it to herself as Dowda, and that one won't fall. A lot of their misses have been coming in the paint. Kick out for three. And it's a one-and-done trip. Carolina plus 13 on the glass tonight.
Icing that ball screen right there. And South Carolina goes to their two-man game. That's a lot of size. And they can play over the top of this Clemson defense. Icing ball screens means they're trying to keep it on the same side and send it to the baseline.
That foul's on the 6'5" Morgan Lee. And to the free throw line for Medina Okote, the 6'6" senior from Kenya who transferred in from Mississippi State. Already has a double-double, 13 points, 11 rebounds against Bowling Green. And rattles in that free throw. 5 points, 9 boards tonight.
She's got 1 year with Dawn Staley, the 6'6" senior. Last year led the SEC in field goal percentage at Mississippi State at 65%.
And just like that, the lead back up to 15. It's been as much as 18 tonight.
Little step-up screen.
Under 8 to go now. Augustaneda deep. Rebound to Cote.
I can't wait to break down some film with Sean Poppy and find out how many shots he felt from three. They were uncontested and wide open.
And that's going to be another foul on Lee. So here comes Hines checking back into the game with Johnson Matthews. Hines will play with 4.
Sean Poppy in his second year at Clemson. He was the SoCon Coach of the Year one of his years at UTC.
It's a former Maggie Dixon Rookie Coach of the Year.
He was a baller too. He had 4 career triple doubles when he was a player at Limestone.
Familiar with the league, right? He was an assistant with Kenny Brooks at Virginia Tech at one time.
And I'm telling you, Clemson, Virginia, and Miami will be the most improved teams in the middle of that ACC. Clemson's going to get somebody that you wouldn't think they should beat, and they're going to lose some that they probably shouldn't.
Augustaneda, no, and you can sense the frustration from Russ that the shots just aren't falling. She is 1 for 12 tonight. Meanwhile, Tessa Johnson will knock down a triple. She's got 13 to join Edwards in double figures. Just so many weapons on the perimeter.
Good job cutting off the baseline. These bigs for South Carolina can guard in that ball screen coverage on the perimeter with their length.
Shot clock's running down. And there it goes. Hey, this is definitely a Super Tuesday for ESPN Men's Hoops. Got a doubleheader coming your way tonight. We'll start with Kentucky and Louisville at 8 Eastern, and then Creighton Gonzaga. It's also available on the all-new ESPN app.
One of the best rivalries in all of college basketball. The Yum Center is going to be popping tonight.
Woo. And I believe Mark Pope was not called into jury duty, so he's good to go.
You don't want to miss that one.
Held ball's going to stay at this end.
Shades of Joe B. Hall and Denny Crum tonight. There'll be a lot of people talking about through the decades. What a great rivalry, Kentucky-Louisville.
The bourbon will be flowing.
On the bourbon side. The vodka side will have it going too.
Latson looking to get into double digits. And may have a shot at it here at the free throw line. She's got 8 tonight on 3 of 7 shooting. It's going to be an adjustment for her, right? I mean, it was high volume at Florida State. And Dawn Staley, when we talked to her today, a lot of praise for Brooke Wyckoff and the staff at FSU with the job they've done, player development over the years with Tenaya.
Very complimentary about the loyalty factor and what a tough choice it was for Tenaya, but she's done everything that she needed to do at Florida State as Oakcott scores in the bucket. You know, the SEC's got some better guards this year. You know, Tenaya Latson's one of them. I like Michaela Blakes at Vandy. How about Liv McGill at Florida? Rory Harmon. She doesn't get enough credit. I mean,
is this the year for Texas? Yeah.
Blage, Johnson, and Michaela Williams at LSU, just to name a few.
It's going to be fun to watch how that plays out. Of course, Oklahoma lost a non-conference last night to UCLA, but everybody anxious to see how their freshman Aaliyah Chavez will do in the SEC this year. The number 3 rated recruit, just ahead of Agat McKeer for South Carolina. As Hines will get to the line for 2.
Dawn Staley has played all 9 players that have suited up tonight. They've started out fast, and then Clemson got a little bit of control of the tempo, which gave them a chance to stay in this. Just a single possession game at halftime.
Unfortunately, they hit a drought at the wrong time and were not able to chip away and get it into single digits. But now it could get up to 20.
I think Latson really trying to work on her passing that time. I think she should have scored it. She already beat her defender and got into the second level.
Latson muscles that up in it, and now she's got 10 to go along with 5 rebounds and 3 assists. And the lead has ballooned to 20.
So, you know, here's what I appreciate about Tenaya Latson. She's not going to take 18, 20 shots a game anymore.
Nope.
But her efficiency is going to be better, and she's going to impact the game in other ways. And when you get to the WNBA next year, you don't get 18 or 20 shots.
No.
You might get 8 shots, and then if you're going to stay on the floor, you got to be able to do other things. She's going to be ready when she comes out of South Carolina for those other parts of the game. She had to do more at Florida State to score.
She wanted to improve on some of those things, her vision, her passing, her defense. South Carolina gets a steal. They'll head the other way with it. Filling the lane. Look at the bigs running the floor. Dowda from Tessa. And they're cruising now. Got to kick it into gear quickly. Well, they always play a tough schedule, as you referenced earlier. They got Southern Cal this weekend out in Los Angeles. They've got a couple of top 25 matchups when they head to Las Vegas around Thanksgiving with Duke and possibly UCLA or Texas. And then don't forget the ACC SEC Challenge coming up in early December. They will face Louisville.
I love the early, tough, competitive, get yourself ready for conference play. Tenaya Latson, out of bounds play, off the glass. The lead to the bigs running ahead of the ball. South Carolina pulling away.
Look closely, and you'll see adventure, discovery, even a little mud. These 4x4s provide the muscle, tech, and durability needed to go anywhere. The Ford Bronco and Bronco Sport. It's time to see Ford in a new light. Easy Plan customers who trade in their current vehicle can lease a Bronco Sport Big Ben for $359 a month or a Bronco Big Ben for $459 a month for 36 months. Think Ford first.
Always great to celebrate Barbara Kennedy Dixon, posthumously going into the Women's Basketball Hall of Fame with this year's class next spring, the 2-time All-American, and still the all-time leading scorer in ACC history. One of the best to ever suit up in the league, Debbie, and then after she graduated, 31 years involved with the Clemson Athletic Department.
I mean, what an ambassador for not just Clemson, but for all of women's basketball. And What a sweetheart. We
That's her
miss
personality, by the way, right there. That smile.
We miss her.
Yeah.
And you know what? She scored the first 2 points in the history of the NCAA basketball tournament when Clemson was the first game in the history of the tournament against Penn State.
Over 3,000 points and 1,000 rebounds.
Think about all the greats in the history of the ACC, and she's still the all-time leading scorer without the three-point line.
Yeah.
Jim Davis is smiling right now.
Coach.
If good Lord willing and the creek don't rise, he's got a big smile and he'll be
in the
there.
hall. Longtime head coach at Clemson. Many trips to the NCAA tournament, some ACC titles. They're trying to get back this year for the first time since 2019.
Oh, look at that. Split
the D and getting to the rim.
Late game off the bounce. Tania Latson in tremendous shape. So strong. Such a complete offensive player. They jump out to ice that ball screen, and she just splits the D. Too quick.
Latson with 10 points, 6 rebounds. How about this week's SEC Network featured women's hoops games? Reagan Beers in Oklahoma taking on Kansas City tomorrow at 9 Eastern. Belmont, Tennessee, Thursday night at 7 Eastern. SEC Network action for you. Joyce Edwards has led the way tonight with 18. Latson and Tessa Johnson both in double digits. Medina Acote is a basket away from a double-double tonight. And they have pulled away here in this fourth quarter.
You know, they run that dribble drive, Clemson does, very well, but we're not going to see many teams that have the shot blocking presence at the rim of South Carolina.
Yeah.
South Carolina has rim protection and paint protection. In my mind, those are two different things, and they're very good at them.
Well, they have been much more well-rounded in this fourth quarter, and Dawn Staley looking a bit more pleased after that long drought in the third. It's so much fun to watch Dawn in action, to see what she has built here with the championships, with the SEC titles, with the attendance, and being such an ambassador for the game. I mean, you call her the CEO, right?
I think she's the CEO of a lot of things, certainly of South Carolina basketball, but look at this list we came up with today. CEO of young player development, advocating for assistant coaches and growing the game financially. And then this is your word.
Philanthropy.
I love that.
Nobody sells Philly better than her. And of course, always in fashion. Little Gucci with the, who's that? Is that Stephon Diggs?
I think so.
Yeah. She's the CEO of all of that and much, much more.
I think she's the CEO of the New York Times bestseller list, too, with her
she's
book.
an author, yeah.
You got it all working over there.
Incredible what has been built here at South Carolina. And of course, they will be in the mix in all likelihood again for a 4th national championship. After we watch the UConn Huskies raise their 12th banner at their home opener. They've started out quick at 2-0 with AZ Fudd already a couple of 20-point games. Sarah Strong in the paint.
They're already toying with people.
Number 1 again this week. Acote with a big block. Let's see if they get it back to her at this end. The lob inside, and there you go. There's your double-double for Medina. Ten points, 12 boards.
Clemson's going to have some good film, right? And like I said earlier, this is good prep for the next game, Louisville. Now, Louisville won't have the kind of size at the rim, but they'll certainly bring the competitive defensive effort. Yeah, you're going to have to execute.
They'll play American on Thursday, and then Louisville Sunday afternoon on ESPN2.
Oh, I didn't mean to dismiss American. I'm just thinking about conference play.
Yeah, they will jump into a league game. Oh, the whip pass from Edwards for the assist to Acote. The bigs showing off their skills. And Clemson has been held without a basket in this fourth quarter, just 2 points since the 3.5-minute mark of the third quarter, Debbie. The defense has just stuffed them for South Carolina. Gamecocks getting set to get to 3-0. It'll be the first loss of the season for Clemson. And Latson will add another block. That is 10 in the game for Carolina. And at least half of those have been on three-point attempts.
I mean, you got a pump fake, shot fake, ball fake, put it on the ground and go by them.
And if they can hold on here, Debbie, this will be the fewest points allowed in a quarter by South Carolina ever. Just 2. The fewest they've allowed in a game is 5. Rebound Latson, and that should do it.
Lot to take away for both teams. A lot to learn from. Really competitive first half.
4 in double figures for South Carolina, and they will outscore Clemson 20-2 in the fourth to seal the deal. th straight win for the Gamecocks over the Tigers. 65-37 is your final. Joyce Edwards with 18 and 8 rebounds. Lacote had a double-double, 12 and 12. Tessa Johnson with 13, Tanaya Latson with 12 to lead the way for the Gamecocks, who improved to 3-0. And that defense really put the clamps on them. The bigs were impressive, Debbie, with their play, their agility, their mobility, getting up and down the floor, their shot blocking. They're going to be tough to contend with. It's 6'3", 6'4", 6'5", and 6'6" along that front line. And as South Carolina gathers, Joyce Edwards going to join us here courtside. And a big win for South Carolina and 18 points to lead the way for Joyce.
Joyce, your defensive effort tonight, you guys so connected on that end of the floor. What was working so well for you in this particular scout?
I mean, we just communicated. We knew coming in that they're going to do a lot of clutches, a lot of off-ball screens and cuts. So it's all about communication and just being in the right place at the right time.
It's not just turning them over, it's speeding up their shots. How about the way you guys defended the three-point line?
I mean, it was great. They did get some threes off that we're probably going to watch film and look at. But we definitely kept them up to a low percentage. And, at the end of the day, that's the goal.
What about you, Joyce? Your individual improvement from last year to this year. You've made a significant jump in your own game. What did you work on specifically to be able to be this effective?
Just fundamentals. At the end of the day, that's all basketball is. You got dribbling, you got shooting, layups, just continuing to sharpen those skills and just going out here and executing it in the game.
Well, congratulations on the win today.
Thank you.
Joyce Edwards, 1 of 4 in double figures and a strong defensive effort to hold Clemson to just 37 points. 23% shooting, and they hold the Tigers to just 2 points in that fourth quarter. For our entire crew, Debbie Antonelli, I'm Beth Mullins. Thanks so much for being with us as we get you back to the studio with Kelsey and Becky.
Both of y'all could take this. Started out great in the first quarter, finished great in the fourth. How would y'all judge what happened in between the second and third?
Well, I would say basketball is a game of runs, so that's kind of expected. It's just, I think once we got to the point where we're like on the low part of our end, we kind of kept it there, and we just need to figure it out. But I also think it's a little bit of us being tired and still getting the chemistry with each other and being able to just like adjust quicker.
Joyce, obviously a big gap in general in paint production between y'all and Clemson today. Just what was working for you guys in the paint and you feel like, gave you guys kind of an advantage?
I mean, we definitely had a size advantage. I mean, Medina is 6'6", man, like 6'5", 6'4". Deli coming in 6'5" again. Like, we obviously have a size advantage in the paint. We just took advantage of that. Regards to just getting us the ball, we're just executing.
Tessa, you mentioned maybe being tired. I mean, with only 9 ladies on the bench, that's going to be it for the season. Do you see tired maybe kind of stretching throughout the year? How do y'all battle that?
Off the court stuff, being able to see it and get more in shape. It's also part mentally, like a lot mental. So just getting over that hump. So no, I don't think it's going to stretch through the season.
In the front, Elijah.
Joyce, you guys held them to 2 points in the fourth quarter, not a shot made from the field in that last 10 minutes. Even when the offense maybe isn't clicking the way it did the first 2 games, how do you guys kind of lock in on defense and make sure that you kind of get that margin for error?
I mean, we know they're going to do a lot of split screens, a lot of off-ball screens, a lot of pin downs. So just staying down in discipline, we communicated when we needed to switch, just keep playing, even though a player gets beat, just maintaining rotation. It was just a team effort overall.
I swear I was up early. For both of you, obviously a big test, your first ranked opponent of the year on Saturday. Was it sort of good to have some bad tonight? Obviously a bit different in the scoring and everything like that. Just what did you learn about yourselves in the process?
I mean, obviously, we won the game. All wins don't look pretty. But it's good. It's good just to learn. We're going to watch film. We're going to learn. And you do have USC coming up, so we're just going to execute what we need to execute for them.
Joyce, I wanted to follow up what you said about the defense. So you mentioned a lot of the split screens, a lot of 5-out stuff that they run. You might not see a ton of that this year, but defensively, what's kind of, I guess, the key to making sure that teams can't just space you out?
I mean, it's just staying down, disciplined defense. I feel like that's the biggest thing, disciplined defense. Obviously, they're a highly 3-point shooting team, but not just going for head fakes necessarily. Just overall staying disciplined so they don't get ahead of the play.
Thank you, ladies.
Thank you.
Dawn, obviously we got the word before the game about McDaniel. Do you think she'll be back next game?
Doubt it. That's on her. It's on her. So we'll evaluate it every day.
I was in that fourth quarter holding Clemson without a made field goal in there. How does your defense kind of like separate, especially when Clemson was doing a lot of things like running a lot of 5-out, a lot of things to maybe try to get your bigs away from the basket?
I mean, we had a good group that was disciplined. Like, sometimes you go an entire game and one group just is more linked and connected, and that group that was out there was very predictable, and they were linked in together. And then I think what we failed to realize is Clemson was just basically taking the air out of the ball by fluffing it till about 8 seconds left on the shot clock, and then they run their short shot clock options, and they did that all game long. Our offense is what forced us to have to play defense for a long time because we took ill-advised shots, quick shots, no reversals. And if you're going to play that way, you have to play defense for a very long time, and that's what happened to us tonight.
One more about Maddie. Can you share any details about why she's spending?
That's it.
You were outscored 11 to 10 in the third, and then turn around and outscore them 20-2 in the fourth. Just what was the change there?
The change was just a more disciplined unit out there on the floor that was connected on both sides of the ball. We reversed the ball with that group a lot more, and then we got good looks. So it just was that simple. We locked in defensively, and we rebounded the basketball and came back down and didn't take quick shots, and move the defense. And when you do that against a team like Clemson, you're going to really get some good looks by a lot of different people. So it wasn't just one person. It was multiple people that had to guard 5 players on the floor.
Dawn, on that note, the second and third quarter was the first in-game adversity your teams had to face this year. What impressed you and what you like from the way they responded?
I mean, as much as I can get mad at what's happening out there on the floor, when you really look at it, we're just a really young basketball team, inexperienced, and having to play together. So we got to go through some things. I mean, I thought it was a real challenge for us today and tonight, where they challenged us to be more disciplined. And if we didn't, we lose the basketball game. They get into our lead. So it's really good stuff that we need to show our team so we can recognize it. Everything is about awareness and recognition for this team. Because once they recognize it and they're aware of it, we make adjustments and they can actually execute the adjustments.
Don't want to ask about the next game. Don't know if I'll be able to get to you before Southern Cal, but I think it was kind of maybe put on on the schedule for TV as kind of a Juju versus Malaysia Fowali matchup. Do you think it's maybe lost a little bit of the steam going into that?
So I never gave it any thought because I knew neither team had, those marquee players. It's a good game for us. It's a challenging game for us. It's a top 10 matchup that, no matter who's playing or not playing, we got to show up to win. And not just show up and execute. I want y'all taking that, show up, execute on both sides of the basketball, knock down some threes and get some stops. Yes.
You mentioned some of the frustration, I guess, the lack of ball reversals on offense. How important is it to kind of work, against maybe a defense like that when your offense isn't in a lot of rhythm to try to work to get that extra pass and that extra shot? And how does that kind of help your team to get those ball reversals and move off ball a little better?
I mean, we had a 10-point quarter. We lost the third quarter. If that's not disciplined enough, it's more recognition. I told our players after the game, we took a lot of jump shots, one pass jump shots, where if you're making them, great, but if you're missing them, you got to adjust. It's not to say that you're incapable of making them. Those are practice shots, but they're not going in. So let's adjust. Let's get into a ball screen action where we got a little bit of movement. We got people going towards the basket, whether you hit them, whether you shoot, we got a rebounder. So it is that kind of recognition. I think when you're working with young people who practice those shots every day, it's easy for them to take it. They're not connecting what happened 3 plays before that. They're not even thinking about what happened in the last play. They're even thinking about defense, that they had to go play 25 seconds of defense when they're taking that shot. So just getting them to recognize that and not to get them gun shy by any means, but just get a better, give us an opportunity to get a rebound. Give us an opportunity to see that it's an expected shot versus, no ball movement. One pass, one shot. Nobody's anticipating it. We got to get back.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.